How would you live if you weren't afraid to die? Probably a lot differently. Fear controls us. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being left out. But what if you weren't afraid anymore? Me, I shouldn't even be alive.
Us humans, we're wired to avoid risk. We like to think we're rational, but we're not. We're survival machines wearing modern clothes. 10,000 years ago, if something moved in the tall grass behind you, you didn't check. Curiosity wasn't encouraged back then. It was a quick way to die. So our brains learned one rule: stay safe, avoid risk, protect what you have. That instinct kept our ancestors alive, and now it lives in us. That's why people say, don't start the business, don't take the risk, just play it safe. But stare death in the eye long enough and something inside you breaks open. What if I fail fades away? Only one question remains. What am I willing to risk to become the person I was destined to become? When I was 7, I almost drowned. The water dragged me under, lungs on fire, silence as I sank deeper, until surface pulled me out at the last second. 13 years after almost drowning, I faced a different kind of death. An arm injury ripped away training from me. For the first 11 years of my life, I was overweight, insecure, I hated mirrors. But at 12, I discovered training. For the first time, I felt alive. Discipline, progress, strength. It gave me joy, it gave me confidence, it gave me a reason to keep going. I paced my room restless, desperate. The pressure built until I gripped my injured arm. And then, I don't remember the fall. My brother told me later he heard 2 crashes, back to back. First, my head slammed into the corner of the table. Then, my body hit the floor. A freak accident. For 2 minutes, I couldn't move a muscle. I just lay there in a pool of blood thinking, okay, this is it, I'm dead. But somehow, I stood up.
I woke up thinking I was dead. Now I carry a scar at the center of my skull. A reminder that I shouldn't be here. If life gave me 2 chances already, the third might not come. So I'm not afraid anymore.
I know this intro is very dramatic, but the key thing is, life is short and you don't know when it's gonna end. So,
this year, 2025, I decided to do something insane. Train like One Punch Man for 100 days straight. That's 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day. Gym sessions on top, and no rest days.
All I feel is pain.
Feels like it's been 1 year. 1 year.
Probably slept about 2 hours. Because I just couldn't sleep, man. My brain doesn't shut off.
Playing chess out, my foot's cramped.
and that was actually the easy part, because at the same time I was building my business, Real Chess. 12 hours a day, coaching kids, creating content, grinding non-stop, training my body and my mind together. You could say I was solo leveling. Was I afraid? Because no one's ever done this before. Well, you already know.
I was gonna say this, I don't know if I'll put this in the video, but I've reached a point where I'm not afraid of dying.
My name is Raymond. I'm 22 years old. Without further ado, let the journey begin.
2 days before starting this challenge, March 26, 2025, I had my graduation ceremony. Everyone else was celebrating, flowers in hand, ready for the next chapter. But for me, it felt different. One foot was already out the door, because my dream was always to grow a business of my own, even if it meant lonely nights, grinding harder than anyone else, sacrificing everything in the process. That's what made me who I am.
This is my journey, and when I die, I want to die with no regrets.
Through university, I studied actuarial science, one of the toughest degrees out there. Endless numbers, pressure, grind. On top of that, I was coaching chess and building my business, Real Chess, teaching students to become better problem solvers on and off the board. And now, it was time to go all in. Day 1, March 28th, 2025.
It's 4, and one thing I didn't consider is the rain.
Laced my shoes at 4 AM, a 10-kilometer run to start. I felt strong, I'd been training for years, but this was
I'm
different.
gonna record my first kilometer.
The plan was simple, train like a character out of solo leveling. You probably don't know who he is, Sung Jin Woo, but the routine he followed came straight out of One Punch Man. It started as 30 days, but somewhere along the way, 30 became 100.
Alright, about
You'll see exactly why a
50
little
meters
later.
left. Yeah, should be done in about 5 seconds. Done.
So it is time to do my best impression of a stretch for 10 minutes, and we'll get to training legs.
I grew up on Goku, Rock Lee, Luffy, Sung Jin Woo, and Saitama. People who didn't have limits. they broke through them. And for the first time in my life, I wanted to see if I could do the same. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do now for the Sun Jin Woo video. Right now, it's about 4 hours after, so it's like 8, almost 9. I'll probably do the push-ups now. Like every time I take a break, I just finished recording a video. Oh, look at the shreds. Look, day one, the shreds are coming in. That's what I'm saying.
This is the issue of waking up at 4. I'm just gonna drink coffee, do the push-ups, and then get to work. The plan. So after these 18 push-ups, I will see you all on day 2 when I'm time to work.
I was up ready to run, but guess what? It's 1:10 a.m. I should go back to sleep. I have a really good idea. Do you want to hear it? Let's train like an anime character for 30 days. Alright, it is day 2 and it is raining. Motivation counter, solid 2 out of 10.
Day 2, it was already raining. Most people would have said, just run inside. But there was no inside, not for me. Because the point wasn't just to finish a workout. The point was to prove the weather doesn't decide if I show
I
up.
can actually see myself now. I think we're done. Let me check.
Hello, hello, hello. It is day 2 of Sun Jin Woo. The training session today went okay. I mean, I only did push-ups and lat pull-downs if I'm being completely honest. So what I have to do now is push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. I probably don't have that much time right now. Let me quickly record a chest video. I'll do the push-ups as much as I can, then I'm gonna finish off the sit-ups and squats later on. I don't think I mentioned this. I do run a chest company. That's why I am working on this from whatever, like 8 till 8, whatever time I can. So yeah, training in the morning is probably best for me. Those first few days felt almost peaceful, like the calm before something I couldn't see coming. I didn't know it then, but that peace was about to vanish.
Done. Alright, let's go.
Feeling good. And yeah, let's do 10Ks. I realized yesterday I didn't record my squats because I did them at night and I wasn't recording on Streamlabs. So today I'm just gonna do my squats and push-ups and what do you call it? Sit-ups and the same video. Should be done. I will check.
Another 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. Crazy thing is, this might have been one of the last times my squat form actually looked that good, because apparently when you run 10 kilometers every single day, something very strange starts happening to your legs. Anyway, this was back when life felt simple. I'd wake up, train, edit between sets, cold call schools, send emails, build real chests, all from my room. Fresh out of uni, chasing big ideas and bigger dreams. It was hectic, but it felt good. I just didn't realize that peace wouldn't last very long.
I need to work, but I need to complete the run. Nade, do you want that short or long nail? Why does random shit come into my mind?
5 kilometers in. I'm not feeling it at all. My legs are fine as well. It's just like, oh shit, I nearly twisted my ankle. Holy shit, that would be bad. And by the way, if I did twist my ankle, I would still finish this. If I do get injured on day 10 or 11 or something, yeah, it's still getting done.
So 5 minutes edit, 5 minutes set, 5 minutes edit. I guess the set will be less. I don't know. I don't care. This day has been not great, as you can tell, but you know what? A wise man once said, it is not the man that likes the destination. What did the wise man say? What did the wise man say?
Today's legs, but I'm gonna run the 10K before the legs. I'm not running now. I think I slept like 2 hours.
I have to run 10 kilometers and train legs. My knee hurts. This was stupid. But I don't know why I'm recording this because I'm chucking my face.
I don't know why I'm not talking today. Just not feeling it.
100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, a 10k run, gym, and then again the next day. The next
19
day,
minutes after
every day,
running.
no
That's
rest.
annoying.
And on top of that, coaching,
Calling from
content,
real chess.
building real chess, from the
Hiring some
ground
of your school's
up. My
facilities.
legs screamed, my arms burned, my mind ached. But I kept telling myself, if life gave me 2 chances, the third might not come. So I pushed every single day.
I hope I don't forget through these videos how tiring this is. I know in the video it looks like, oh, he's running for like however long this video is so far. Lap after lap after lap, and it's just one day, right? You're only seeing one day right now. Then day after day after day. The streets are empty. Nobody's on these.
Day 9 was one day that the push-ups and sit-ups didn't get recorded. The one day I didn't finish everything. The next day was punishment day. That means double everything I didn't do. And from that moment on, it really never happened again.
Day 10, today we're turning.
By day 10, I was losing my mind. I'd wake up before sunrise. Sometimes I'd talk to the camera and not even remember what I said.
I didn't do the push-ups or sit-ups yesterday, meaning I have to double it today as my punishment. What do you call it in solo leveling? It's your punishment penalty. Issue number 2 is I slept 2.5 hours-ish. It was daylight saving, so I think it was like 3.5 hours.
Sleep. Yeah, that part was rough. It wasn't the hardest thing. The hardest part was continuing day after day, keeping this whole challenge alive. But sleep, or the lack of it, made everything harder. There were so many nights I'd be editing until 3 in the morning, eyes burning, still sending out emails for the business, playing chess, trying to stay sharp. Then I'd wake up tired, legs heavy, and still have to run 10 kilometers. No excuses, just get up and go. Your body feels like it's shutting down, your mind feels slow.
Only 2 kilometers left.
You can't think straight, and some nights you're so tired you can't even sleep. You just lay there staring at the ceiling, waiting for the morning to come so you can start the suffering all again. And let me be real, this was not healthy. Do not get it twisted. I'm not saying to do this. Do not try this at home. Or do, I can't control you. But understand, this wasn't some balanced, optimized routine.
Okay, we're going new direction today. Instead of going left or right, I went straight
And
down.
I'm gonna steal this line from Alex Hormozi. He said, you can't be exceptional without being the exception. That stuck with me because at some point I realized that's exactly what I was becoming.
To stay here on my bed is ridiculous, insane.
Not the strongest, not the smartest, just the one who refused
done.
to
I
stop.
was gonna say calling schools is the worst part of the day, but there's actually a worse part, which is running in the morning, so I guess putting stuff in perspective, you know? I mean, it's not just the run, right? It's the whole thing. It's the run, then you have to do the push-ups, sit-ups, squats, and you have to train on top of that. I mean, you don't have to train, but I train. It's just a natural bodily function to train for me. I've been blessed with the curse. It's enough looking at myself.
You know what? I've been thinking, what if I train like Sanjanu for 50 days instead of 30? That's gonna be really hard because I'm gonna be in schools. I'm gonna be super busy, but the best time to do hard stuff is when you're busy, because then you'll be able to do it when you're not busy.
Day 14 was a very special day and one that determined this entire journey. Actually, the original challenge was meant to be 30 days, but I realized along the line that this challenge wasn't for the body, it was for the mind, and that's when I decided on the extension
Okay,
contract.
let us sign
And
this
even
one.
though this extension contract says 50 days, I knew in my mind that it wasn't going to be 50 days.
And do the sit-ups, and let's get to it.
Day 15, I was training at the gym with a mate. My legs were cooked, my chest was burning, but there was no rest. I had chess club that night. I remember sitting across the board, body half broken, but my mind was locked in.
I'm awake. I'm ready to run and train legs. I'm ready. I'm very ready. But my legs won't move from this bed. I don't know if the legs have free will. But I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works.
By day 14, everything had shifted. My body ached and every morning felt like a negotiation, not with anyone else, but with myself. But life doesn't bend to your plans. So one rule I have for myself is simple. At least don't fight with yourself.
When I put my arm this way, the back is hurting, and when I put my arm this way, the chest is hurting.
Entropy is real. It's a silent pull towards disorder. The universe was testing me, trying to see if I'd crumble like everything else does when left alone.
My ankle's pretty sore.
Days 20 to 30, I kept running, kept training, kept playing chess. The routine stopped feeling new. It just became life. Every day felt heavier. The soreness never really left. Every run, every set, every move on the chessboard felt slower. like time itself was dragging.
Day 30 and we're off. In our alternate universe, this would be the last day. But we do have to make it to 50. And then we have the choice of 100, but we're not even gonna think about that yet. 5:47 p.m. and no real rain, but there's thunder and lightning. So if I do happen to die, at least I live life. No regrets. I died with no regrets. But hopefully we make it out alive.
By around day 30, something shifted. I realized I just wasn't afraid of dying anymore. Not in the physical sense, but mentally. It's weird to say, but I just felt content. Because for the first time, I was living exactly how I wanted to. Running my own business, doing my challenge, building real chess. Doing everything I actually wanted to do. And when you live like that, you can't have regrets.
Pain. Don't try this at home. Ever. It builds willpower though. So if you're not looking for the gains and looking for the mental gains, then maybe try it. But it's not for the physical gains, 100%. Can't do a tricep push down, my elbow's hurting too much.
Alright, I'm running around this park, yeah, and people are training soccer. And I heard a kid say, is that guy just running continuously? How many laps is he gonna do? Mate, I'm only 5Ks in, mate.
Day 36 was kind of special. I competed in a 1 vs 6 chess simul.
And they're gonna beat me. They're more than likely gonna all
That
beat
means
me.
I'm the one person versing 6 different people that are quite competent at chess at the same time. And yes, I was in pain.
Running
Yes,
10Ks
I'd
a
already
day
run 10Ks.
is
Yes,
stupid.
I'd been on my feet for hours playing these chess games. But I still played. And guess what?
Guys, the games are over. We have one on the boards. But they were very good games.
It's day 36. I'm back from the simul, the chess simul I just played. Hopefully you guys saw that. And guess what? I have to
I
do
don't want people to
push-ups,
think,
sit-ups,
oh my
and
god, look at this
squats.
guy, he's perfect. He's just beating people at chess for fun, 6 of them. He's still doing his 10K, he's still doing his push-ups. Yes, I'm pretty cool, and I'll be the first to admit it.
That simul was pretty cool. Admit it.
And yet, I wasn't perfect, not by a long shot. Oh my god!
Damn it.
Oh, am I stupid? Yeah, I resigned. Okay.
30-minute stretch, 30-minute stretch.
I got distracted, I stared at my phone a bit too much. I did things I shouldn't have,
8:40.
but I kept coming back every day. I got back to it.
ATO. Today is actually my first day in a school teaching chess, which is pretty cool. I'm almost there at 50. But the thought is still troubling me every day.
Day
Am I going
41,
100?
my legs are in severe pain. Severe pain. A lot of pain. I have to train legs and run. And then I got a lot of work to do. One step at a time, one step at a time.
While my body was breaking down, my business was quietly building up. Real chess was growing, and somehow I was managing to keep
day
both
42.
alive. I'd finish a 10K run, limp into a chess session, teach for hours, then go straight into another edit.
There's pain on every step. Every 10,000 steps, there is one pain. So 10,000 pains.
This is push-up chess. After each move you make, you have to do a push-up.
I shouldn't have done those one-hand push-ups yesterday. I don't think I can do a single push-up right now. I have 60 left.
Walk more, cut down on calories, pick up resistance training. All of these would have been far safer, smarter, and far more sustainable. And I knew that. I wasn't ignorant to the basics of health and fitness, but this challenge wasn't about sculpting the body. It was about forging the mind.
Day 49, here we go.
So what's kept me entertained, motivated, and alive through all of this? For One Piece. New chapters dropping every week, carrying me forward. The story of endless struggle, ambition, and the
Guess
pursuit
what?
of something impossible.
5Ks into day 50. Okay, last kilometer. And I know no one wants to talk 9Ks into a run. I promised myself I'd record the last K. How's this challenge been? I'd say very hard. Because it's not just one day. Doing it for one day is super easy. It's the fact you have to do it every single day. No matter what work commitments you have, life commitments, you have to do it every day. No matter what pain you're feeling, you really want to take a rest day, you have to do it. Why do I want to continue? What I said on day 30. I want to live life with no regrets. So that means if I'm presented 2 choices, and one is the more peaceful, tame choice, and one is the adventurous path, I would rather choose that. And I don't care if I take the adventurous path and don't succeed, but I care if I choose the other path and just never try the other one, if that makes sense.
Then there was Alex Hormozi. You see, from a young age, even after university, the world tells you, get a job, play it safe, don't risk it. And those voices never fully go away. Even with a strong mind, they chip away, whispering doubt. Maybe they're right, maybe you're wrong.
Why am I doing this? On one side of my brain. But the other side of my brain is kind of like, it's like, keep going. Just don't stop. And I like listening to that one a bit more than the other one. Because that one's never done me wrong.
Cracks form, even in the hardest of steel. But then you hear people like Hormozi, people on the other side,
52.
and they rebuild belief. They remind you that the impossible things are possible, that faith in the leap is justified.
Figure out what you want, ignore the opinions of others, and do so much volume that it would be unreasonable that you would be unsuccessful.
Legends never die. When the world is calling you.
Day 55. And what you just saw previously was me doing one push-up. And I felt a ton of pain in my chest. Like it was like ligament, tendon pain, I don't know, overuse. 5.6 Ks into day 56. And all I feel is pain.
I woke up at 4 a.m. for like the 7th day in a row, but I don't want to run because then I don't want to be like drained for the tournament, so I'm just gonna try and go back to sleep. But my mind, I can't go back to sleep, man.
How did you like the Real Chess tournament?
Oh, it was fantastically run, really well organised, and the kids absolutely loved it.
Real Chess was growing fast. We started hosting school tournaments, bringing chess to hundreds of kids. It wasn't just about trophies, it was about discipline, patience, focus. And strategically, it worked. More tournaments meant more eyes, more parents, more belief. I wasn't just doing it alone anymore either. A small crew joined in, filming, editing, helping the dream scale. And since those early tournaments, Real Chess has evolved. What you're watching was the start, the seed. But now Real Chess has boot camps, and thank you to the sponsor of this video, Real Chess. And now we can actually advertise here. Great, let's go.
Australia sucks at chess.
Australia dominates sports, ranked 2nd in cricket, 2nd in tennis, 13th in boxing, 24th in soccer, but 44th in chess? 44th in the world. In Australia, chess isn't taught like it is overseas. No real academies, no serious clubs, and when it is taught, it's often by teachers who don't know any advanced strategies.
That's why we built Real Chess, Australia's first true chess education academy. We're here to change the system. School by school.
The Real Chess Express Bootcamp brings expert chess instruction, elite coaching, and real tournament play straight to your school. 2 days, high energy, fast learning, critical thinking, problem solving, and a passion for chess. For life. Whether you're a teacher, parent, or student, click this ad to book the Real Chess Express Bootcamp for your school now. This is just the beginning. We're fixing chess in Australia first, and then we go global. The new age of chess is here.
Alright, 6Ks into day 60. You know what? Making good progress. K's ran so far 596 kilometers as of right now. It's pretty insane. I'm not running on any fresh legs at all, and my legs just pain every step. Every step, pain, pain, pain. So day 60 means about 2 months in, right? It feels like I've been doing this for 8 months. Like time is passing one day, feels like 4 days. For everything, business, running.
Prisoners in isolation often say the real punishment isn't the walls, it's the time itself. In those chambers, hours can feel like days, days like weeks. The mind stretches reality until it breaks.
It looks cool, right? Looks cool. Guess what? I'm in so much pain. So much pain.
As for the social media, it's going pretty good. I post every day on every account, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. An assistant coach that is gonna come in, helps me with the tournaments and stuff. And he's gonna be starting coaching in his own schools as well from next term, which is really good. So which part of either running a business, playing chess, oh my, that's cramp. Running the business, at the start I didn't enjoy, but when I started treating it more as a game, like, okay, like I watch a lot of Alex Hormozy, a lot of stuff is just volume. If I reach out to 100 schools, 10% will reply, and 5% will have a tournament hosted, and from those 5%, if I do well, I can maybe potentially have a program in the school. And there we go. That is the game. You have to do volume, have to have more inputs, and just be patient with your results.
Some days you just don't want to run, man. Alright, it's day 63, and I have to run it at like probably 5-minute pace because I have a chess lesson to do.
By day 70 of this challenge, it didn't feel like 10 weeks had passed. It felt like 15 months. Hours became days became weeks, time itself shifted.
Strava, again because of you, I'm running another kilometer in the rain. You paused the goddamn run.
Later I learned there's a name for this, retrospective time dilation. Under stress, the amygdala floods the brain with chemicals like cortisol and dopamine. Suddenly you're hyper aware of everything, every breath, every ache, every bead of sweat.
0% chance of me.
And I lived it. Training, teaching,
out here
meetings,
at the
filming,
park.
editing, uploading, every day stacked on top of the last. But inside that distortion, growth happened. Pain didn't just hurt, it became reality. It reshaped time. It taught me how the mind can actually endure.
Who's gonna carry the boats? The boats.
I even wrote to myself that night, and this is on camera by the way. Dear Raymond, I know you won't remember this when you're done, sitting somewhere warm, but let me remind you, it's 6:08 p.m. My bones hurt, my ligaments hurt, my legs hurt. I'm exhausted. I ran at 5 a.m., slept at midnight, coached a chess tournament, and I've already run over 700 kilometers without stopping. You're in pain. You're 60 push-ups in, but you owe 10 more. Dumbass, because you forgot to record. Then 100 squats, 100 sit-ups, then more lessons, more calls, more work. People talk about a 9 to 5, but how about a 5 to 9? That's when I realized this was never about the body. It was always about the mind.
Day 71, officially 30 days left. I have one of these pains in my calf. Coming and going. Has the ankle healed? No, that was a bullshit lie I told myself. To try and get through this. We are 30 meters in, and I'm in pain. Is it cold? Yes, very, very cold. 7.4 Ks into day 74.
As promised, I'm up early so we can train early. We can work. Let's fucking up 2:30 a.m.
Every ache, every rep, every long night wasn't a test of strength. It was a test of will. Somewhere along the way, I understood. I had a 0% chance of failing. Not because it was easy, but because my mind would never allow me to quit.
Done. Done. Tough day, tough day.
When life attacks you, it attacks you with all of its pieces. All of its pieces.
Day 85, I returned to my old school. The same halls, the same classrooms, but this time I was someone completely different. I was running a tournament through my business, moving from board to board, coaching, guiding, managing. All after a 10-kilometer run that morning. My legs screamed, my joints ached, my body wanted to stop. But I didn't. Every push-up, sit-up, squat, every rep that night, I did it all. And in those old corridors, I felt it. The weight of everything I've done, everything I'd endured. Pain, exhaustion, doubt. All of it fused into something else. Clarity. 15 days remained. I could sense the finish line. My high school quote echoed in my mind. This isn't even my final form.
Day 85, where legends are made.
Yesterday is probably such an insane amount of steps I did. Ran 10Ks in the morning. That suitcase every day I carry that suitcase. Every time someone touches it, they're like, what the hell? How do you carry that shit everywhere you go? It's like, what? I carry it for 1 kilometer. It's probably a 35 kilogram suitcase. The tires don't even work, so they drag that shit. The ligaments have from this shit. My knee's in pain. My left knee is in pain right now. But I don't care. It's got 14 days left. I was walking the entire day. I probably did like 30,000 steps. But yeah, I don't care. I ain't stopping now.
I looked down at my feet for the first time in all the days, like properly. Every single toenail of mine is bleeding.
Right, it's day 88. Yes, I'm wearing 2 hoodies. 2 hoodies. Probably the least I wanted to run this whole challenge. Apart from the days I had pain, actual physical knee and ankle pain. Probably this least. Cold, of course it's cold. Of course it's early. But I don't have a choice, do I? Just breathe, step. Breathe and step. 0% chance of failure.
Guys, day 92, out here at the chess tournament. We've got a game going on, a very intense game.
Done. I don't want to keep talking, bye. Day 93. And you know what they say about the number 93? It's a number.
Hopefully in schools it's expanded throughout Australia. Hopefully we can do some international schools. After that it's going to be the academy, which is going to be worldwide. Of course it's going to take longer than 100 days. I can't build a business to $100 billion business in 100 days. But what I can do is finish it off strong. This is the last business video. What you're going to see next is me going crazy, finishing the challenge off strong.
9.4 Ks in today. 94. Isn't it crazy? Day 95.
Day 95, the body was wrecked, but the mind sharper than ever. Pain became quiet, focus became loud. I felt a strange peace, like seeing the horizon after weeks in the storm. I could feel it, finishing something like this alone while nobody was watching. It was sacred, pure.
9.9 Ks in today. 99.
It is day 100.
When I looked in the mirror, I didn't see a perfect body. I didn't see a flawless hero. I saw someone who refused to quit.
Ah.
Let's go. And I'm done day 100. Done.
Oh. I actually don't know about this.
Congrats, you.
Congrats. I've done it. I've made it.
The date is October 13th, 2025. It's day 200. And let me be completely honest, that physique that you saw wasn't from day 50, it was from day 196. Almost 200 days since I started this journey, and honestly that makes it even more special. It's proof that what I built didn't fade after the challenge ended. You see, I never really made this challenge about the body, that's why you barely saw it throughout this challenge, but if I really wanted to, I could be like, oh, guys, look at this. Look at my abs. Oh my god, I have abs. But that's not the point of this. Because anyone can look good for a video, anyone could look good for a transformation. The body comes and goes, changes with time. What stays, what endures is discipline, mindset, and resilience. That's the power you carry with you through everything, your business, your craft, and your choices. From the very beginning, I asked myself one question. How would you live if you weren't afraid to die? The conclusion I came to wasn't about the world, it wasn't about the circumstances, it was about me. If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to impress anyone, you just need to begin. Because to me, the one thing worse than dying is never truly living.